This is gonna be a fun video. You might think it's only a Charger RT, but there's a reason we're filming it. I'm telling you, you don't know. You think you know, but you don't know. You don't know about these Charger RTs, let me tell you, boy. Well, this should come as no surprise, YouTube. We're doing another car review. This time we're gonna be doing the Forgotten Charger, a 2016 Charger RT. Always got to move the seat back. Big guy problems. Always got to move the seat back. This seat goes all kinds of ways. All kinds of right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So for anyone that hasn't seen the inside of a 2015 Charger or Challenger RT, not the SXT, not to be confused with the lesser packages, that's a leather wrapped steering wheel if you're wondering. It's a much nicer product than they would have had in 2014, any of the years prior, starting back in 2006. So the reason that I say the Charger RT is the Forgotten Charger is because with the Hellcat, with the 392, with the SRT8, the RT, with the one with the 5.7 liter, 370 horse, 395 foot-pound V8, really doesn't make headlines anymore. It's not the one that anyone's talking about, but the reason I think it's worth talking about is if you look at the competition, which you could argue is the Taurus, the Avalon, maybe the Accord, sort of the Chevy SS might fall into that category. This is the only one, besides the Chevy SS, which is much more expensive, used, and much harder to find, that is a big power V8 rear wheel drive car. And for people like us that might want a four-door car, the Charger RT is the most accessible, most powerful option, and it's not slow. The owner of this car is a good friend of mine, and the first thing I learned when I first started driving this car, or first rode in this car, was I said the same thing everybody else said. No, it's not a Hellcat. No, it's not an SRT8. It's not a Scat Pack. It's just the RT. It's just the RT. And that's why this car is so interesting, because it's not slow. It's a 370 horse, 395 foot-pound, 5-second 0 to 60, 4,300 pound car. It is not slow, it's outright fast, especially for a four-door family car. Now, here's the interesting thing. From 2006 to about 2011, the Charger was kind of rough around the edges. I've ridden in some first-gen four-door Chargers, not so great. Right around 2015, they did the first major overhaul of the Charger. What's the big deal? And what my friend said, and it's totally true about the 2015 and up Charger, is you have to see it in person next to an old one. If you look at the 2014 and then you sit it side by side with the 2015, totally different cars. They are completely different cars. And it's really, really cool. With this car being so powerful and so, I don't know, under the radar, you can get a really, really, really good used Charger RT 2015, 2016 for not a lot of money. So for example, this one that we're riding in right now is the 2016 RT 5.7 liter V8 rear wheel drive, fully loaded. It basically has every option you could get on a 2016. It's got the nav, it's got the heated and cooled seats. The only thing it doesn't have that I can tell is the extra road and track package, because it's really silly. Dodge did this thing where they had the RT, which is supposed to stand for road and track, and then the RT road and track. So this is not the road and track, this is just the RT. So basically everything on this car, heated and cooled leather seats, navigation, V8, all the stuff. The owner of this car got it for $24,500 with 16,000 miles on it. 14,000 miles, I'm sorry. Only 14,000 miles, and he got it for the price of a used Hyundai Genesis. So it's really, really, really cool, and I know I keep saying that about this car, but it's so badass that you can get a near 400 horsepower car with about 400 foot-pounds of torque. It still gets real-world gas mileage on the highway. The owner of this car has seen as much as, what, 27 miles to the gallon. 27 miles to the gallon in the real world, hand calculated, not going off of a computer. That's a lot of car. That's a lot of gas mileage. It's a lot of room. It's a lot of looks. You can't tell me that there's any other four-door car, even the Chevy SS, which is kind of a sleeper looking car, that looks anywhere near as good as this one. Now, I should preface this with the fact that the owner of this car is a little bit biased. This is totally true. The owner of this car, who's a good friend of mine, has right now in his garage a 2016 Ram 1500. He has a 2016 Challenger Scat Pack, and that's the big boy. That's the 6.4 liter, 6-speed, the whole 9 yards. Then, as a commuter, because he's cool, he bought this 2016 Charger RT, and then he also has a 1996 Dodge Ram 1500 that he bought because it reminds him of the truck he has in high school. So he's got 4 pieces of Mopar power in his garage because he likes them. So this Charger RT, this fully loaded 370 horsepower, 395 foot-pound V8 car, it's his commuter. It's his gas mileage getter. Oh, this is the family version. This is the slow one. I mean, technically the V6 is the slow one, but of all the V8 Chargers, the RT is the quiet one. It's the one that's like sitting in the corner of the room that no one's talking about. No one's going, dude, I just got a Charger RT, or bro, did you see that YouTube video of that Charger RT? Nobody's talking about these cars, and they totally should be. Tell me one other car that's a 2016 that you can get for the mid to low 20s that has a V8, leather, sunroof, heated and cooled, blah, 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 steering wheel, gadgets, gauges, power. Tell me one other car that you can get for that type of money that sounds this good, that goes this fast. I mean, this car will do 0 to 60, like I said, 5 seconds. You throw some bolt-ons onto this car, it's a 425 horsepower car. And they're not expensive. They are not expensive. And that's why I think this is one of the best buys in modern America, especially when you're talking about a family four-door, because people just don't talk about them. They don't appreciate these cars for what they are. Okay, so as far as actually driving the car, what can you say? It's a modern Chrysler product. They're really doing these cars well. They had interior problems for a long, long time. If you go back to the SRT4 video, I talk about how in the mid to late 2000s, a lot of people weren't really happy with Chrysler's interior products. They just weren't that great. This is totally comfortable. Everything works. Everything's laid out really well. The car looks great. It gets high 20s miles per gallon. And yeah, whatever, you can talk about how the platform for the car is technically from the mid 90s, but they've done a great, great job of updating it. And maybe it's just a platform that works. Have you ever thought about that? Overall, the car is awesome. It's really, really comfortable. Like I said, high 20s in the miles per gallon. Tons of power, tons and tons and tons of power. And if you want to take it out on the weekends, this is totally practical. You can have as much fun as you want if you want to throw some sticky rubber on it. This car, the only modification is some aftermarket mufflers. We don't honestly know what make they are, but they sound great. Not too loud, not too raspy. It handles great. Again, it's 4,300 pounds. Don't expect it to outrun a Miata on the back roads, but you get to a straightaway and you're gone. It's a great car. I want to thank my friend for letting me drive it. It was a lot of fun. Really easy to break the law in these things. And if you've been thinking about a Charger, but you're like, I can't get the Scat Pack, or I can't afford the SRT8, you just haven't driven an RT yet. I'm telling you, these cars, people don't talk about them, but they're worth talking about. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below, and I'm hoping we'll see you on Sunday. Bye now.